There are two important things that I would like to say in this particular episode, whatever you want to call it. One is I do not have all the answers. I'm not claiming to have all the answers. I just feel that together, when we're uniting, we could get there. Two is I owe a huge apology to Young Pharaoh because I misunderstood what he was saying. I get him now. Like I fully understand. Like, okay, because this channel is about the gathering of souls. That's number one. And I'm holding this for a reason. It's about the gathering of souls. Yes. And in order to gather the souls together, we have to come together regardless of race, color, creed, all that good stuff. Yes. It's just that because of the fact that we are in the physical, in order to start the procedure, we do have to come together, unite all of us, regardless of what your race. We got to get the blacks, the whites, all everybody that is on the same consciousness of of liberating ourselves from the deep state. We have to initially come together for that. And then, as Young Pharaoh said, I'm not going to repeat it. he said, leave us the F alone. Okay. I really do understand why he said it in that way, because when you look at the history of what we have written down, there has been a certain demographic that has colonized and infiltrated almost every single nation on this planet. And during the infiltration, I do feel that initially it was started by an entity or a being that has no compassion, still on that, has no sense of humanity, and is to this day committing worse crimes than people are incarcerated for. They are committing worse crimes than that. And they're in powerful positions. Yes. Okay. Now, with that being said, I understand why. Let me just say, and this is no disrespect to any other race, I've always loved being black. I've always loved and was attracted to black people. Like, every man I've ever dated was black. Even the one that was from a Spanish country. I want to say he was from, I don't know. He was darker than all the black people I ever dated. That's all I can say. Anyway, I'm attracted to black. I love it. That's who I am. Got that out the way. So let's make that clear. So I do understand why he is saying we all have the blacks have to build their nation, the whites build their nations, the Asians, etc., etc. Build their nations once we eliminate the biggest culprit in the deep state. Once we eliminate them, once we develop a way to okay, I'm gonna put an idea out there because they're energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. Once we find a way to portal them into energy or planet or whatever space, so that they don't bother us, because This is considered to be the prison planet, though. So I think they already put the worst of the worst already here. So, I mean, however we choose to do it, whether it's leaving them here and then we go, or, however it's going to happen, it has to happen. Anyway, now I had an idea, since the earth has chakras like the chakras we have in our body. Okay, let me just go back, because what Pharaoh was talking about was that we need to come together, all races, and then we need to separate, but not a complete separation, not a complete segregation. Like 75%, we have to individually build our own um, schools, because we need to learn about us. That's important to get, and I understand that. That's the reason why I even stepped my foot into the doorway of consciousness, because I had to learn about me, because the school systems were not doing that. How many different books did I read on it? I didn't read much of any of the books on blackness. I didn't read too much of it. I did read some, but I didn't read a lot. Most of what I did was attend the lectures, and which is just like going to school in a way. Anyway, most of the books that I did read were self-help books, which got me to the point of accepting a certain level of consciousness, which is now in turn getting me to this point. So, yes, I do. The planet, this planet Earth that we're living on, this heavy prison planet that we're living on, it has chakra systems just like our body. So my thought was, a lot of us that are black, we do have a form of postpartum slavery disorder. We do. It's just a fact. These are just facts. And I think in order to clear out and get us to a higher level of consciousness, what we should use is oh wow, the white squirrel came out. I don't know if you can see it. The white squirrel came out today. Ooh. He's coming for some it looked like a boy. He's coming from some nuts, because I feed the squirrels every day. Anyway, we need to focus on certain energy levels on the planet that has that root chakra. We do have to start at the root, especially when we are correcting our effects of the postpartum slavery disorder. We have to go through certain levels, and there are certain energies on the planet that has a root chakra and the spleen, the solar plex, the heart, the throat, the third eye, pineal gland, the crown. It is certain areas on the planet that has all of this. I know California, from what I understand, has that root, and that's that creativity. And I think that's the reason why in California you found that, especially if you were going vegan, they had the highest level of. It's also an illusionary energy too. That's why there's, I think, film and a lot of movies are made out there also. I'm just saying, I'm not saying we have to live there all the time. I'm just saying we could start with a training there, and let's just move throughout different parts of the world until we reach the crown chakra energy frequency, and then we could move about but we do have to come together as a nation. I'm not saying that this is the answer. I'm just saying it's a thought that came to me earlier. Like maybe you go to California for, I don't know. I don't really want to live there. I know that for sure. My sister lived there for a number of years. I would like to go and receive some classes from there. you know, utilize that energy, and then go where the spleen energy level is, you know, work my way up. And then wherever I decide to still being joined in this nation of the gathering of souls. And like he said, the schooling, we need to dehypnotize. You know, we need we need a formula to get us to a point where we are. I feel like I'm kind of rambling. I'm all over the place, and that's, like I said, my channel is not going to have a specific formula, because when it hits me, I'm going to get on and I'm going to say what I got to say. I may not always start with good day. I may not always start with peace, family. I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to put myself in the box. I'm going to be out the box, because I think that is the goal, is that we have to get ourselves out of the freaking box. If we stay in the box, we're going to stay confined. We have to look beyond the box. I mean, this is just the beginning of going down the rabbit hole, while Young Pharaoh shoves the red pill, as he said yesterday, shoving that red pill in your mouth. I think that is so hilarious. But I get him. I feel him. I know why we have to separate ourselves. I understand why we have to separate ourselves. And we have to separate ourselves because the certain entity or being that came in a European form is the number one. It was the number one. It's the one and only colonizer. There I go, freezing again. Anywho, maybe it's when I get to the 11 in the 11. Anyway, I'm in black right now. So that's the number one colonizer, because of the fact that the European body has been the bodies that have colonized, if not every facet of the world, every facet of the world. And in that colonization, we have to get ourselves out of the box. We have to awaken ourselves and others to a truth beyond truths. And the best way to do that is for us to come together. We have to be on the same accord as this is a great idea. We have to come together. And then we handle the particulars of it, you know, we just handle the particulars of it, because there's going to be enough of us that are going to be heard where we're going to make that difference. And the number one thing is that we have to come together. I don't think that we should totally eliminate any other race. I do think that there are certain areas where, yes, we have to totally eliminate them, because like Pharaoh was saying, when you start teaching the truest history of Black history and enslavement and going back to for whenever and what's going on in Africa, it's going to make white people feel uncomfortable. That's just a fact. And he said he don't want to hear about he didn't say Christopher Columbus discovering America, but he said, I forgot what he said, but he just used what goes on in white history. He don't want to hear that. And I understand that. That makes a lot of sense. My thing is this: I was reincarnated in this body for a reason, and it's a beautiful time to be alive. So I want to take full advantage of those that are seeking the truth and speaking the truth. I want to come together with them so that we can create a reality for this prison planet that will assist and help those that are looking to eliminate the problem or control the problem or whatever we need to do so that we can gather and unite together to eliminate the problem. So that's what I have to say. Peace, love you, joy, peace, love, love.